Hello, everybody. It's Terra Queen Jamila, aka High Priestess Jamila. I am going to give you guys a few minutes to assimilate in here, whoever's going to watch it live. Happy Friday to you guys. Happy Love Day to you guys. I wanted to come and talk to you guys about a couple of concepts, a couple of curses, and then also the healing from narcissistic abuse ritual that I will be completing this full moon. Okay. So, I'm going to give you guys a couple of minutes to get in here. So I've been working professionally as a spiritualist and an alchemist and a healer for the past I started my business 5 years ago, but you know, I've been doing it, you know, really like just 100% on my own, and have had great success with it in spite of the challenges that I was born with. So a lot of people will say, well, what was that challenge? Because it's obvious that I'm not, you know, deformed or whatever, right? But any kind of hurt, any kind of curse, hex, or enchantment. So I wanted to come and talk to you guys about that because these things can be different. Enchantments are the same thing as a curse, but they're typically done for different reasons by different people. And I also want to talk about the curse of the patriarchy curse that has been placed on some families and not all. Okay. And also the Black Widow enchantment or curse. So I've been doing work for people for a while, and I've started to have my own names for this stuff and come up with my own concepts. Now, we've all heard of the Black Widow, okay? Or the Black Widow curse. We've heard of that. I've heard people talking about that for a while. But I will bring that up because I have been noticing that the people that I've been doing readings on, that you guys actually do have those particular curses and enchantments on you. And what it is affecting your relationships with people. Okay. It may not be affecting your relationship with animals. It may not be affecting relationships with others, but it's affecting all of your relationships, all areas and all aspects of your relationships. Hello, welcome. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I love Germany. Shout out to Germany. So the Black Widow curse or enchantment, I have seen this on so many people. And believe it or not, it's usually on people that are very beautiful or people that would be considered beautiful, or people that consider themselves beautiful. And what it is first of all, I will tell you this, that I feel like what's happening behind the scenes is that there's definitely some kind of negative spirit or demonic force, which everybody calls it the devil, which I think that it's much more deeper than that. I think that it's our inner fears is what I think the devil ultimately is. And I think that we've made a physical form of the devil just with our minds as a collective. So we all do have the ability, if we're all thinking the same way, then we can create, changes. If all of us were to be on the same page with each other, or if all of us were to do a ritual together, we would definitely move mountains and do all kinds of stuff. And we're already doing that. But anyway, y'all know how I'll go all the way in. Guys, I am getting over a cold. So if you hear me hawk, Please forgive me. Please, please, please forgive me. I'm sorry. And a lot of people are like, you should spit that out. And it's like, well, I am now because I'm getting over a cold. So anyway, oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You know, my goal is to achieve inner beauty, and I'm starting to get there. So, and I want to talk to you guys about this. This is very important. But I want to cover the Black Widow curse. Okay. So there's an entity which, in my opinion, you know, however you make that entity up in your mind is how I see it. So basically what it's doing is it's causing so many challenges with relationships and people in your life. And what it does is it causes you to have these relationships with people. They don't work out. And so you're highly encouraged to just say, cut it off and bam. And, you know, but then it's like you've got this string of people. And that's, in my opinion, that's baggage. And I feel like the things that we say and the things that we do can sometimes lift curses off of our relationships. But I believe that this is an actual enchantment. I believe that it was very popular for somebody like your father or your uncle. They used to call it keeping it in the family. I know that sounds weird, but the reason why I say that is because it's almost like if the family thinks that they have something valuable, then they'll want to hold on to it and cherish it. That's just like I had one of my exes, and guys, I've been walking in a curse my whole life. So you know, I'm no different than you guys. I've been learning how to remove mine. And a lot of you guys have got to consider that this is probably one that you would need to remove, in particular if it was put on you by either your father, your brother, somebody, or even your mother. People can enchant people in different ways. That's just like if somebody gives birth to a baby and they hold the baby, you know, and somebody holds your baby up and they says, oh, this baby is going to be, you know, crazy or something, you know. And if it's somebody that's very powerful, like your mother, okay, this is the first person. So I don't care what nobody says. If your mama is tight, can't nobody curse you. Ain't got nothing to do with no Bible or nothing like that. If you right, if your mama is right, then you gonna be all right. If your mama messed up, then you gonna have some issues that you're gonna have to deal with. Because, you know, that's that womb energy, and that's your first teacher. But I can honestly tell you that there were times, you know, I wasn't even raised by my mother, and I still felt love, and I was still fine. You know, I didn't find out about this and lose it or anything like that. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I did suffer through substance abuse problems, alcohol and marijuana, and I smoked cigarettes. But and I actually almost died of alcohol poisoning once. Okay. I actually almost died of alcohol poisoning once. So, yeah. Oh, thank you, United. Thank you for coming. So with this Black Widow curse, it can be anybody. It can be your grandmother. It can be your auntie. It can be anybody in your family that's evil enough to do it. And you know what? If it's your mother, it's the worst, because your mother is who everybody depends on, you know, for information about you. And if your mother is giving people negative information, then, you know, how do you think things are going to fare? You would have to literally cut ties with the narcissist. So, and let me just say this, guys, the Black Widow curse is not directly related to narcissism. I'm just putting them all in the same video so that you guys can have the information. Okay. And I would appreciate it if you guys would hit the thumbs up while y'all in here, or while y'all watching the playback, because that actually does help me get more views. Okay. So that people can see me, because that's what You know, it's almost like when people don't want a flower to grow, they'll stomp on it. So that's kind of what these curses and these enchantments are about, because, you know, I've always had people that come and get readings from me. I always have them send in pictures. And, I'll have these women that will just be so gorgeous, and they'll be having trouble in their love life. And it's like, are you serious? And so when I look at the cards, though, I will see that they have these enchantments on them. So it's not always a generational hex. If it's a generational hex, you want to get it taken off of you. Here's my thing about it. Generational hexes are things that are probably affecting you subconsciously. And so that's really where the hex is removed. And then hexes have to be broken. So there's a certain way that I do my hex breaker rituals. And of course, I'm not going to go into detail of that. Unless you're an apprentice of mine. I'll teach you some of my rituals if you're an apprentice. But so, yeah, and it does work, because last year I was definitely very successful in my business. And that leads me to the next curse that I want to talk to you guys about. And that is the curse of patriarchy. The curse of patriarchy is one that I am going to trademark as a spiritualist. Okay, I'm going to trademark that. And it's actually going to be on the website, the patriarchal curse, generational curse remover. Same thing. The generational hex remover is that. But some of y'all specifically have the curse of patriarchy over your family. And it makes no sense, because guess what? The children and the women are going hungry. That's what's happening these days. So these are old values from eons ago that literally it was made up. It wasn't something that was at the dawn of time, because even when we look at animals that are on this planet, nobody ever just sits there and goes, oh, just take care of me. I don't need to take care of myself. And just, so you guys know that I was raised to be a feminist, right? I was actually raised to be a feminist. But I'm not a feminist. I don't necessarily need to be one. Sometimes I'll say it just to piss people off, because people get irritated with that, when you say that, but they also get irritated when you say that you're a spiritualist. They don't like that either. They don't like any of the ISTs. So let's talk about the curse of patriarchy. This is over a lot of families. This is actually what produces the narcissistic father. Narcissistic fathers are very dangerous. This curse only affects certain people, because I remember when I used to live over in Kansas. I'm like Dorothy. I'm from Kansas, right? Hey, Amazing Grace. Hello. So, girl, you done made me kind of let me stop, because I'm getting thrown off and I'm getting ahead of myself. But I was doing hair for this girl, and she came by and she was talking about her father, and she was saying how her father was like really very strict, and how he, forced her to go to college, and that her father wasn't going to accept, her earning less than so and so. And my mouth dropped. Like, I was absolutely amazed, because that is not what you're going to run into when you're dealing with the curse of patriarchy over your family. And the curse of patriarchy is, in fact, causing poverty. It has nothing to do with women having babies. Women are going to keep having babies. That's what women do. Even if you blow us up and tell us that women gonna still have babies. So that's just nature. And I'm telling y'all that there is a healthy balance between nature and logic. There is a healthy balance. A lot of people find it. Okay. But it's not that easy to obtain. So let's talk about the curse of patriarchy. This is where all of the men in the family, including your father, feels that women should take the back seat. They should not be successful. Okay. Probably shouldn't even finish school. Keep them dumbed down as much as possible. Blame them for it. Call them lazy. Abuse them spiritually, mentally, and physically. And then sit back and, you know, that patriarchal demon, it's a demon, sits back and is satisfied with that. But, okay, so it tells you that women are supposed to be under a man. Okay. And this is and I've seen it on a lot of people, a lot more people than you think. And it is a curse. So what ends up happening within the family is that the boys are encouraged, supported. Okay. They are encouraged and supported in being successful. But the women are the girls, and the prettier you are, the prettier you are. So please take it as a backwards compliment, please, because the prettier you are, the dumber they want you to be. So they don't want you to be pretty and smart. That, you know, that's something that's really, I think smart. I think being smart. I think that smart women are actually very pretty. Personally, I think it's very attractive. I just don't think that, all of the, the things that they create within it, but they'll say that to you and they'll say, oh, well, shut up and sit down. You ain't supposed to do that anyway. They want you to take a sit down, and suffer in poverty. And they don't want you to go nowhere because you don't have a man, And if you do have a man, people are going to say, tell your man to do something for you. You ever have your family do that? As soon as you meet a man, all of a sudden, they don't want to give you no more support emotionally, physically, financially, or nothing. Let him do it for you. And I get it. I totally get it. However, even if you have a man that has the finances together, more than likely, if you are coming from a family that has the curse of patriarchy on it, that curse is going to tear down even that man. It does it all the time. That's why we see so many divorces happening. So please, why do people think just because you put a Band-Aid on something that makes it go away? Oh, we already have this demonic contract that's causing this to happen. So let's create another one in a church, and nobody is actually understanding or seeing what is happening actually. So let's talk about this, the curse of patriarchy. So you have every man in your family feels that way. So they are going to act and react to everything that you do according to that curse of patriarchy. And they're going to purposely make it harder for you. Okay, they're going to purposely make it harder for you. You ever see somebody, boy, they be pretty as hell, and the next thing you know, it'd be like, what the hell happened to you? Because they will gut these women. And I think that it affects men too, though. It started to affect the boys too, and then that is when they began to talk more about it. But it's okay for the woman to be told to sit down and shut up. But when you tell a man that, oh no, you're violating a man. Now, that doesn't mean that a woman has to be up hooping and hollering, but I like to hear what a woman has to say, whether or not she hooping and hollering or talking sensibly like how I am. I like to hear what you got to say no matter what. Now, if you're just in a rage or whatever, we're going to have to throw some holy water on you. We're going to have to throw some holy water on you and pray. Okay. So now, the curse of patriarchy will cause everybody, including the women, which is a dead giveaway that it's BS. Well, if women aren't supposed to have any power, why'd you give this woman power? Oh, because I want her to have power over you. Okay. So this is something that I know I have personal experience with both of these curses, the enchantments. You know, I don't know what it is about me. I just have people cursing me all the time. Boy, I don't know. And see, again, I do know it was an enchantment. And the more and more I broke the curse, the more and more it worked harder, even through my family. But let's talk about this curse of patriarchy. So as a woman, you know what you want to do with your life and you know what you want, but all of the men in your family are basically sacrificing you. And that is what is essentially happening. Patriarchy is sacrifice of the woman. Okay. Matriarchy is the sacrifice of the man. So you'll have your, so I'm just telling y'all, you know, a lot of you wonder, well, why couldn't this person do that? Or why didn't this person in their bloodline, well, why weren't they able to overcome that? And it was because there wasn't a man that was allowed to step in. And then there wasn't a man strong enough that could withstand all of that to even get past these men that wanted to sacrifice they family members. I'm telling y'all the truth about it. How you doing, Carol? I'm doing good, hon. So what the curse of patriarchy does is it causes the disrespect of the women in the family. Okay. And trust me, you know, just moving or changing your phone number, that don't really do nothing. They gonna find you. It's gonna find you. And you just gotta, those curses can be broken. But the only thing is that when they are broken, you have to be able to recognize it. Okay. Also, the curse of patriarchy, when that happens, so there's no man to actually take care of these children and these women end up giving up and just living in poverty. And this is so sad on so many levels because there's so many people that have potential. And see, y'all not understanding that if people do not reach their full potential, that affects everybody on some level. So if there were not a problem, I wouldn't even have to be here even talking to y'all, but there's obviously a problem. So this is why I decided to do this, and it's not easy. So a lot of people just say, oh, bah humbug, I want to come out and be a spiritualist. You gotta roll with the punches too, because I've been punched and I've been chewed out. I've been chewed up and spit out by demons. And so this is what I want to talk to you guys about with the narcissist demon. What I have noticed, and this is what we're going to be doing during our ritual. You guys are more than welcome to join in on the 19th. This is going to be very powerful because we're going to be healing from narcissistic abuse, but we are also going to do what it takes in our minds. And the most powerful thing that you can do to beat narcissism is to release the ego. And the way you have to do that is you're releasing the ego, you're releasing judgment, you're releasing grudges, you're releasing it. So that is the way we are going to battle the narcissistic part of it. Okay. And we will be doing this ritual on the 19th. Everything is syncing up perfectly. It is going to be amazing. Just to let you guys know. Okay. And, you know, I want to make sure that in the days prior to that, I'm kind of like, you know, focused on it. And you know what I'm saying? So everybody get your stuff in, go to the website, go to my rituals, and go to the full moon in Leo. It's going to be a narcissistic abuse and trauma healing ritual, as well as protection and as well as manifestation. Okay. And whatever else comes up, because it is going to be a fire ritual. It is going to be a lot of candles that are involved. So we're going to be healing a lot of root chakras, but we're also going to be healing a lot of heart chakras. And we're also going to be healing a lot of solar plexus chakras. So this, you're supposed to have self-esteem. Okay. You're supposed to have an ego to a fault. But when your ego is so big that you can't see the error of your ways, and to the point where it's hurting you all the time. Okay? And so a lot of you guys that come to me, you guys have the same exact issues as me. It's so weird how every one of my clients is like a reflection of me. That, you know what I'm saying? So, well, we're gonna ask hey, if you guys are saying, Jamila, I can't afford a reading right now, I can't, we will bring that money into the ether right now. Okay, we will ask the spirits to bless y'all with that money. I always do that. All you got to do is ask me. If you guys don't have money for a reading, just contact me and say, Jamila, I want a reading, but I don't have the money for it, and I will ask the spirit to put that money in your hands. Okay, for you to get the reading or whatever work that you need. Just make sure that you come back and get the work done, because then that's not going to be good. Don't be starting stuff and not finishing it. Because I had to, I started, like, I don't know, I was dealing with some stuff to where I had kind of some issues with, you know, completing projects and stuff, which y'all know that I hate, because I'm one of those type of people. I do have a Virgo moon. And, but you know, so, oh, thank you. Thank you. Bless you too. So a part of the ritual is going to be healing yourself from narcissistic, and then being able, narcissistic abuse, and then being able to actually cope with it. Because if your heart chakra, because that's unfortunately what it does. It feeds off of the heart chakra and the solar plexus. That's why it's constantly trying to make you feel bad. But the things that it's trying to make you feel bad are ego building. Those things are just a fake, false ego. Okay. So being a divine being really has nothing to do with the ego. And I think that it's time for us to take the next leap forward. So I told you guys that we're going to be taking a leap forward every month. I will be doing, you know, work during the full moon. I will be watching the skies a lot. So when I say that, I mean, I'm going to be coming at you with a lot of astronomy, and I'm putting up the money forecasts. And see, they don't want y'all to have those money forecasts. They don't. Those of you that are going to do bad, because the people that don't want you to have those money forecasts are the demonic entities. It's because they don't want you to see those things coming. So if I give you a warning, just take heed to it and just, you know, take the steps necessary. Nobody said that you were forced to take my advice. You know, if you don't agree with it, then you can always, you know, go look at your rising sign, or you can get a personal private reading. Okay. But if you have a concern about your money and you know things are going on, don't look at my readings. Don't listen to my readings and then go, oh, okay, well, Jamila said that I'm going to be fine, but you didn't do any of the work. So you had that disaster and you're thinking, well, she's a liar. Jamila's a fraud because she said this, this, and that, but I had bad luck. That's because you either your blessing got stolen or you didn't accept it. One or the other. Another thing that I want to tell you guys is that there is a secret to success. It's in your spiritual vortex. It really is. So for a lot of you guys, if you guys want to know what's going on with your love and your money, then, you know, I'm very, very good at that. Even though my own life ain't perfect, but see, that's the whole point. You know, I'm perfecting it. I'm getting there. If I, you know, so, you know, I'm growing and learning with you guys as well. But I can promise you that there's a lot of you that, you know, because I'm 40, you know, they make me feel bad about being 41. They're like, oh, you so old, you're 41. But like, I'll be getting them young and old. You know, my clients are usually in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. I've had people as old as in their 70s getting readings and getting spiritual work. And when I get a young person, I feel really blessed when they send me somebody young, because I'm like, oh my God, like I get to save you. But I can save the older ones too, because it's never too late to fulfill yourself. Don't ever leave this earth unfulfilled. Fight for it to the very end. And if there's a problem, because now let me tell you guys something, that Black Widow curse will kill you. It was meant to kill you. Okay, especially if you had a mother that was kind of like an abortionist or something that didn't really want you. If you had an evil stepmother, okay, and you know, you got people that will try to make you feel bad for that. But when you are truly a divine being, when you have truly stepped into your divinity, you know what I'm saying? Then that ego is not as important, and it feels good. It definitely. So my body is building up this resistance. This is the resistance, hello, to narcissism. And this is the answer, so that we're not just all in chaos, because there are some people that are just completely being controlled by all of these curses that I'm talking about. The Black Widow curse, because guess what? As a man, you're getting caught up in Charlotte's web. Okay? When you get caught up in that Black Widow web and you be wondering what's going on, you need to come see a spiritualist. So I work with men a lot. So men, do not be afraid to come to me. You know, I know that there, you know, people get really, I don't know, like I do have male clients though. I do. Some of my clients are men, especially for my court cases, but most of my clients are women. But I don't mind working with men. You know, I think the reason why is probably because I don't want nobody flirting with me or whatever, you know, which they usually don't. They usually don't. It's never stepped over that boundary with any of my clients. I'm a professional. Professionalism is everything for me. But, you know, I'm a human being. Even though I'm a divine soul, and I have my divinity, I am still a flesh. So we're living in the age of Aquarius now. Now I get to have fun while I'm down here, okay? You're welcome. You're welcome. So I've been removing these curses from people, and I've been discovering them, and I've been, you know, having conversations with the actual demonic entities. Like I've been talking to them, like they have been explaining, and you know what, another thing I've been doing, I've been healing dead people. Because just because you're passed on doesn't mean that you're healed, you know. So I do help to heal them. When you help a person that is passed on move forward, it helps out a lot. But I think that person will, because I have a lot of people, like a lot of y'all family members will bring y'all to me. Like y'all be like, well, I got a grandmother that you remind me of, or I got a, you know, you remind me of my auntie or something, or you remind me of my mother or whatever. So I'll have people come to me and say that. But see, that's because that spirit guide brought you to me, because they got to move on. That's just like my grandma. My grandma need to move on. She's not going to do that until she knows that her family is okay, but she's ready to move on. Trust me. She is, you know, she's ready to move on. Okay. So, you know, it's not just frequencies. Please don't lose sight in the spirits, because the spirits are us and them and our departed relatives. So a lot of people will just go, oh, well, it's just computerized and, you know, everything is, you know, no, it's not. There are actually souls and people like walking around, and you can't really see them. You have to have a spiritual eye to be able to see ghosts and spirits. Okay. You have to have a spiritual eye. Hold on, guys. Give me a second. Okay, guys, I'm back. I'm getting over my cold, like I said. So So this is the energies that are going to build up. Like I said, I am going to do the crystal gathering. I'm about to scrub the rest of my house. So the house is going to be thoroughly scrubbed and everything and ready for the ritual because I'm freaking excited. First of all, the ritual is going to be on February the 19th of 2019. So that is not only a repeating number, but it's also syncing. It's in sync. So this is going to be huge. And even the days before and the days after. So let's say that you're doing rituals, but you don't actually catch that date, which I'm gonna catch that date. I don't care what I got to do. I don't care if I'm, tired as heck. I'm still going to catch that date. Okay. Because I want to work with those numbers because I also practice numerology, which is why I've been successful with the money spells, money alchemy. Okay. And things of that nature. So is the widow curse or just the people around the widow? I don't understand, Bella Bella. You said, is the widow cursed or just the people around the widow? Oh, is the widow cursed? The people around them can become cursed. Yeah. And see, this is why, like, I had like an epiphany. And this may not be the exact same thing with you guys' relationships, but my relationships have been in turmoil because of that. Because what will happen is that people, they will associate with me and they'll be associated with me personally. And then that's when the Borg kicks in, which is, my mother or whoever. And, that person ends up a sacrifice because they end up held up in suspension because first of all, why are you here? Second of all, I'm not going to let you go because you came here. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, you got to get that because, and you know what? Try to make good with all of, like some of your exes were smart enough to go and get that stuff removed, but a lot of them weren't. So if they've been affected by a black widow, then more than likely they're going to be getting stalked by demons. They're going to be getting psychically attacked. Their family is going to be getting psychically attacked, and they're going to be pissed off at you. So that's kind of, it was something. It was the energy was knocking at my door for so long. So that's my personal stuff, and y'all are going to see that clear up. Even one day, you guys are going to come and look at my video, and there's not going to be any thumbs down. So I'm going to clear that up. It's very important to me. So we're going to make sure that we, whatever it is, because, and see, that's why I said, because this is what I would do. I would abandon my relationships with everybody. What I would do is I would get these men and women caught up in this black widow of this deceit and stuff that was going on, not with me, but just with the whole malevolent entity and spirit to begin with. And they would end up pissed off at me. And it's like, but that's not me that's doing that to you. That's my spirits. And I do have, like, we all have, like, that's a part of your spirits. It's not a spirit that I'm going to keep. It's not a spirit that I'm going to keep, but it is a part of it. And then also, I was enchanted I was, cursed to, like, the male was cursed too because he's stuck roaming and stalking me forever. It's sad. They need to make it into either a movie or a book. And, it's been the story of my life, and I've had to sit here and just, person after person just kind of be destroyed by that. And so, and it wasn't just that they were destroyed. They would develop this bitterness for me that would grow. So from here on out, I'm going to make sure that I check on people and make sure that, if there's a misunderstanding, that the misunderstanding is understood. So I'm going to make a personal effort to do my part in improving my relationships. If somebody else refuses to do it, then fine. And, you know, I've already been tested and it felt better. It felt different because, you know, there was this thing to where people could just control me by, you know, by saying, well, I don't respect what you're saying, or I don't. But see, I have faith in it. I know that in a lot of other of you, this is going to kill the narcissist out of your life. It's going to kill the demon. It's not going to necessarily, like, it's not necessarily the right thing to just get rid of people. So that's absolutely the wrong thing to do. Like, I've been telling y'all this for the longest, like, and I've seen so many people that are under that curse. And then the curse of patriarchy. The curse of patriarchy is very dangerous because that is what's been causing the poverty, believe it or not. It's not divorce. It's not single people. It's not, okay? It is the curse of patriarchy, because what it does is it says, you're a woman, you're not supposed to flourish, you're only supposed to be taken care of by a man. And we know that even by today's societies, that is not what is even gonna happen all the time, not for every woman. So when you look at people like Oprah, Oprah definitely defied all of those odds. Oprah definitely beat the curse of patriarchy and the curse of poverty. But if she would have succumbed to that and hadn't, you know, kept going, and, you know, what she was doing with whatever it is that she wanted, which was prosperity, at the end of the day, y'all say what y'all want to say about Oprah, but, you know, she never got to worry about nothing. She don't never have to worry about, you know, how she's going to pay her bills, and she don't have that struggle. And are you ready to stop struggling? I know that I am. So I've recognized these curses. And when you recognize them, and whenever you're able to recognize something, you're able to put a visual to it. And the visual is, in fact, the broken male. It's not the male that, because what happened was, I believe that as a human race, we became broken. We were, you know, and they were able to break us. You know how, like, a lot of people were, you know, saying, you know, oh, so-and-so was able to break her down or whatever. You know what? They was able to break all of us down. You know? Yeah. Was she? Oprah was in your dream. That's a good sign. That must mean some money coming, Bella Bella. Okay, Oprah coming in your dream mean you about to have some money coming. Or either you're gonna have, you know, the blueprint or the thought process in your mind, because that's where everything starts, is in the mind. Everything starts in the mind. It does. You know, everything that you do. So that's the reason why, as embryos, the brain develops first. Y'all notice that embryos, the brain is the first thing that develops, because if the brain doesn't develop, nothing else can develop. So it's kind of, you know, reminiscent of that. Anyway, so yeah, you guys can contact me. You can be free from these curses, because you guys will come to me and you'll say, oh my God, everything is this, and every, you know, every relationship happens, this happens, and, you know, and so let me tell you what the narcissist demon and what demonic entities, just not just the narcissist, because there's other demons. What it wants you to do is hold a grudge. What it wants you to do is be angry. It wants you to find the negative in everything and just stay attached to every negative thing that was in your past that somebody did to you. It wants you to constantly be reminded of it, because when you start forgiving folks, and when you start to walk without that shadow of that ego, because I believe that the shadow side is the ego. Because if somebody comes up to you and says, you know, oh my God, well, I just think that you look like a monster and you're just the ugliest thing that I've ever seen in my life. And if you get upset about that, you truly are walking in your ego, and you're walking in a curse if you get upset about that. Now, depending on who it comes from, again, if it's coming from your husband and your man, then you definitely need to have some curses removed, or you need to pay attention to what you're doing. Is, you know, I noticed that. I really did. I noticed that. And so, you know, it can really be difficult, and it is a curse. It's not, but it's a curse is something that is more powerful than you. But, you know, so what your ego will tell you is your ego will instantly. But when you're walking truly in your divinity, then that stuff is not going to bother your ego. That you in fact, it's going to roll right off your back. And I had to become thick-skinned being out here in social media and on YouTube, just to let y'all know, because I haven't had it. And I do kind of remind myself of Cardi B. I kind of remind myself of Cardi B. You know how Cardi B, like, I'm going to fight with everybody and I'm just going, because Cardi B still, you know, that's, you know, a lot of the stuff that she does is just ego building, or it's not ego building, but yeah, it just makes that ego, it feeds the ego. And when you feed the ego too much, then that's when your solar plexus is overcooked and it's way too much. You got to bring it down and see it's also not that energy from the solar plexus is not, because that's a very, very powerful center point, energy point is the solar plexus and the heart chakra. So this is why a lot of people are having, like, you know, allergies or worse, you know, breathing difficulties, you know, heart palpitations, and, you know, because you know, your spiritual body is all out of whack. A lot of people's spiritual body is out of whack. And mine is pretty good, but I had to learn what was going on in my relationships. I don't care how bad the relationship is. I'm going to make sure that I don't have unhealthy baggage trailing behind me. If we get into an argument, I'm not going to walk away playing victim and saying, oh, that argument was all your fault. No, it was partially my fault, because I have been walking in a curse. And you know, you have to discover that stuff. You have to and it takes time. It takes time. It has to come in steps. You can't just, you know, wake up one day and bam, it's gone. And, you know, I think we all would, because eventually you are going to wake up one day and you're going to be exactly where you want to be. And I know that for me. And I have a lot of faith in it. I have a lot of faith in everything, because I've been getting downloads. Like, they obviously have been downloading things to me while I was asleep. And we even had a little blackout over here. So, you know, when there's kind of like a little blackout, you know, stuff can come in. And I think that that's kind of what so I'm going to build off of that energy of, you know, not of, you know, that's the way that you know, kill the narcissist. And it does kind of make you seem to be a bit forgiving or whatever, but it's not really that. And you want to make sure that it's accelerated, because y'all can't afford to lose another 4 or 5 years. So a lot of y'all be like, you know, it take you 3, 4, 5 years to learn the lesson. Well, with this last one, it was so clear. I was like, oh my God. So it made me automatically want to contact that person and say, hey, you know, how are you doing? I want to make sure that ain't no hard feelings, because that is how you beat that negative entity, is by doing that. And then hopefully the people in your life will follow your example. Hopefully they will learn something from it and say, you know what, I kind of see what she's saying, because it feels good when you're not in turmoil with people and fighting and arguing and going through all of that. And guys, I'm just here to tell you that was one of the reasons why I moved away from families, because I didn't want to argue anymore. But, and you know what, at that time I didn't think, and they weren't going to listen to me. It would have been like talking to a brick wall. So sometimes it is good to get away from your family. It is good to get some time to yourself, so you can sit there and you can think about yourself and think about you know, who you are, you know, what's your purpose, you know, what's going to make you happy? What do you want? But at the end of the day, you still got to deal with it. You can't run from it. And, you know, I had to learn that, you know, and you guys have heard me say all of my exes are stalking me. Why are all of my exes stalking me? Because subconsciously and in my mind, I'm the 7 of Swords when it comes to my exes. So it's better to say, hey, you know, I want to make peace with what happened with this person. I want to make peace with what they did. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so I'm really excited about this ritual. And even if you had narcissistic abuse from your parents, because and that's what we're healing from, even if it's deep trauma. So that's why it should say deep healing on the website. I may have to specify that deep healing, you know, because I am charging more for this particular ritual. So I am going to update that. It's going to be very deep healing that's probably going to go back to your childhood, and it's not going to be scary because I will be using the energy of angels, angelic energy, and fairy energy. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something. Through the curse of patriarchy, the curse of patriarchy taught us that there was no fairy tales, and that's actually not true. So as a kid, you know what it is that your mind is capable of doing, and your mind is capable of healing itself. So I don't care if you messed up. I don't care how messed up you are. I am here to heal you. Okay. Because I truly believe that if you can teach somebody how to heal themselves, and then see, with me, I'm an empath. So the relationship between the narcissist is the empath, is that, you know, empaths are usually feeling what the narcissist is feeling, which is that deep hole in themselves and that ego that just keeps getting deeper and deeper and deeper. And they just keep going further down into that hole. And it is very scary. And I faced it. And so I'm, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm one of them people. I was really sheltered. I was kind of sheltered, you know what I'm saying? Even though they kind of being a little like families being rough with me now, I was actually sheltered. As if you can tell, I don't have cuts and bruises and stuff. I have, you know what I'm saying? Like you can pretty much tell that, you know, even though I did have kind of a it was a mentally abusive upbringing, but it was because of patriarchy. That was the reason why they treated us a certain way, because society said treat boys like this and treat girls like this. We need to treat all the girls to be extremely codependent on a man, even if it's not meant for her to be with that man. Even if it's not going to work, even if these two people that have somehow been brought together, if they have to split up at some point, because typically, you know what's crazy is that these hexes, they bring the relationship together, and the hexes also splits it apart. So you'll find that every single relationship was almost like a hex. And you're like, wait a minute. So I think that even if like for me, if it's somebody that I've been intimate with, especially, I'm not going to do that anymore. I think that's a mistake. And I think that's been holding a lot of people back. I think it's been holding a lot of people back, including myself. So we're going to work on that. So I'll be writing all of this stuff down on my paper, and I'll probably be using my dragon's blood ink, because I will use the dragon's blood ink on special occasions, and my little feather thing. So I will be gearing up for that ritual. You guys still have the make sure that you participate in the ritual now. Like it's only $100 minimum, because you'll start to get stuff downloaded to you. You'll start to feel the difference. You'll start to see the difference immediately. So don't be afraid to participate early, because if you guys go ahead and contribute early, then we can then we can go ahead and plan better around the ritual, and then that way I can already have everything set up. Okay, because it is a group ritual. Okay, but everybody's going to benefit off of it. Okay, and you'll start seeing the benefits immediately. So we're actually already starting. That's why I always kind of give you guys notice, so that you can do these things in advance. Don't wait till the last minute, because I have to write everybody's name down. I have to write down your intent, and I have to also plan for how many candles I'm going to get. Now, I am going to have the standard, because it is a fire ritual. But I'm sorry. Let me see who this is, guys. I feel like it might be important. Hello? Hold on, guys. Okay, they didn't want nothing. Something got disconnected or something. So yeah, so that's what we're gonna do, because if you're like I've noticed that with me, I've been through some stuff. I've been through some stuff. But I can tell you that even when I got out of an abusive relationship, I was able to move on in my mind. I was able to just, you know, kind of be like, you know, I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to this. So, you know, it's very important for you to not allow trauma to break you. And there's several different things. So if you are participating in the ritual, you will get a follow-up email. I will give you instructions on what I suggest that you do for this ritual. Like I told you guys, it's not going to be painful. It's, if you don't participate, I can't promise you. If you don't participate in this ritual, I can't promise you, because this is going to be a full moon in Leo, February the 19th, 2019. So a lot of different magicians, even the bigger, higher ups, you know, the ones that are higher up on the pyramid, they're doing rituals too on that day. Those rituals could very well affect you negatively if you let it. So sometimes with the higher ups, us staying in chaos, and I'm still down here with you, obviously, because I'm a loving person, obviously, us being in chaos kind of, you know, helps them stay. And it is a certain balance that has to happen, but there's no way that people should not be able to, you know, have a fulfilling love relationship. There's no way that anybody should be denied of love. If somebody is denying you of love, they're trying to kill you. That's your heart chakra. If we loved more on this earth, we would all live longer. And I'm talking about real love, not fake love. And then also another thing that Spirit is telling me right now, that, you know, it's something about your solar plexus, but also your pancreas. So what happens is that your pancreas will absorb all of that energy, and it'll send negative energy to your heart. So your solar plexus, if you're not taking care of it, it'll send negative energies to your heart chakra. So this is the reason why it's good to deal with things from inside out, you know, or outside in, or whatever you want to call it, because it's, you know, I mean, that's all we're doing is medicating all the time, just medicating, you know. And we're also going to be doing a cleanse. I'm going to be suggesting people to do a cleanse as well, like an internal cleanse. I've actually already kind of started mine, but I think I'm either going to use juice or something else, but that will be later on. But these particular curses, the Black Widow curse, will screw up your love life and the lives of others, and people will hate you, you know. And so if you're wondering why do all your exes hate you, it's because they got caught up in your Black Widow trap, and that demon basically sacrificed them. So pretty much what I do, and I'm very good at doing it. I think I've been getting trained my whole life. But what I'm very good at doing is I'm very good at banishing those demonic entities, sending them where they need to go, and then also releasing people from their contracts. I don't think that everybody can do that. And I'm not trying to say that I'm special, because I don't want my ego. I think that you can learn how to do it depending on how you do it. But I feel like everybody doesn't necessarily have the access to do it. Okay. And I mean, as far as like, so it's not necessarily that somebody is more special, because everybody is valued. That's just like when it comes to certain things on this planet, like ants and bees and flies. We don't like those things, but those things, those things bring balance to our system, to the ecological system, to the world. So we have to have those things, you know. So anyway, I'm gonna go, you guys, because I want to get the rest of the money readings done for the channel. If you guys want to improve your financial situation, contact me. Okay. I'm always here. All you got to do is come and say it. And right now, all of y'all know y'all about to get y'all income taxes. Make sure that you invest in that spiritual stuff. Don't just, because you're going to end up spending all that money and then you're going to be right back where you started. So don't do that. Make sure that you, make sure that you seek a quality spiritualist that can be trusted. And I'm one that can be trusted. Okay. All right, y'all. Y'all have a happy Friday. I will see y'all later. Love and light.